Okay, so I've made like 17 videos and I cannot bring myself to upload any of them. So this time, my hair went from being done to being put up because I'm frustrated. I've just decided that the whole reason for me doing this video is to let you guys know more about why I post all the time and letting you know what this has to do with me. And it's not going to work if I'm not just completely vulnerable with this, so y'all bear with me. I started this at my lowest point. I was struggling with anxiety and depression. Um, and the thing is, when you're growing up, you know, you take bits and pieces from everyone. Um, you get random advice from random people. You get called names. You get made fun of because maybe you dress a little differently. You are judged pretty much nonstop. And you're told things, and it all just kind of makes up the fabric of who you are. And sometimes those things are not always, sometimes those things aren't positive things that you take, and you start to believe the things that you're told and the things that you hear, and you believe that you're not as smart as you thought you were, that you're not as worthy of things as you hoped that you would be. Um, and you start to settle. You settle for what's easiest. You settle in your thinking. You just assume that where you are is where you're always going to be, that nothing can change. And before you know it, you have all of these emotions and you start covering them up with food. You start not caring because you just assume that this is your place and that's where you're stuck, and that's just where that's where you're gonna die. You know that you're just where you are, and you just accept it and you go with it. And then sometimes things happen to make you realize that that's not exactly it. One morning I woke up and I weighed 225 pounds, and I was miserable. I become a mom and a wife, or a wife and then a mom. And then I just decided that life was no more for me. It was about my husband and my babies. And that was just it. I was there to cook dinner and wipe butts and make sure everybody got through the day just fine. And that was just the end of it. And that thought didn't exactly make me very happy. I wanted to be a badass mom. I wanted to be the best wife ever. I wanted my husband to be proud of me. And I wanted to show my babies that they can do anything that they want to do. But how was I going to get from that point to what I had in my head? And my friend, we decided that we were going to go to the gym. So we went to this gym and they had this T25 and we're like, yeah. But I was like, no, fat girls don't T25 and I'm not going to do it. So that's that. And they're like, no, you got to do it. You got to do it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it one time. Then I'm going to die and then I'll never have to do it again. And I did it. I did not die. And I could not do all the moves. I couldn't move very fast. But I felt so strong after that 25 minutes. And then the more I did it, the stronger I got, the better I felt. And my body was literally doing these things. Like, I'll never forget, I hated seeing my shadow because it was just like this big, bold line. And a couple weeks in, I started to have like a little bit of a curve in my waist. And I'm like, oh, look at my shadow now. And I was so excited. It was the little things. And I realized that I had tried so many shakes because I hate breakfast. And, you always hear that, like, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yada, yada, yada. And so I thought, well, how amazing would it be if I could find a shake that would fix my breakfast problems? So I tried, I'm going to name drop so y'all don't get mad. I tried Isogenics, made me gag. I tried, It Works. It didn't work. I mean, for me, it didn't work. Um, And I tried Visalis, Body by Vi. I couldn't drink it. Like, the stuff just made me gag. I have like a consistency issue or something. I don't know. And I don't even really like regular old shakes. I'm just not a shake person. So when I got the T25 in and my Shakeology, I was like bribing my friend's like 15-year-old daughter to try. I'm like, oh, you should try this. Try it, try it, try it. And I firmly expected her to gag and like grasp her throat and like fall over. And she didn't. She took like 3 more drinks. And she's like, oh, it's really good. Like, shit. Now I gotta try it. Turns out I actually loved it. If you guys couldn't tell, because I've been drinking it for going on almost 2 years. So that was pretty awesome that I finally found something that I could drink. Before I knew it, my mind was shifting. I wasn't, the anxiety loosened up a lot. I finally seen the light at the end of the tunnel. I wasn't struggling so much with depression anymore. It really eased my depression. And it wasn't just the Shakeology. It was, all the vitamins and nutrients from the Shakeology most definitely was what set the tone. But it was the nutrition that followed. I don't know how many times I laid awake at night Googling, like, how to lose 10 pounds fast, how to get healthy fast, different diets, different anything. And everything was so contradicting. It was like, don't eat carbs, eat carbs. Don't eat meat, eat lots of meat. Don't do this, but do that. And it just overwhelmed me, and I just put it out of my mind. But when I got my T25 in and my Shakeology, it came with this book. And this book saved my life. I know it did. It had lists in it. And so I remember I was hungry, and it was lunchtime. And I was like on this beef jerky diet because I thought protein, I knew people that were trying to lose weight ate protein. So I thought if I ate a shit ton of protein, I would lose a shit ton of weight. It's not really how that worked. But anyways, I was kind of getting tired of beef jerky. So I got into, I looked at the book, and it was like, with whatever list it was, I'm like, oh, I actually have that in the cabinet, and I like it, so that's what I'll eat. And I did that every meal, or for snacks. I looked in that book, and there was something I liked in every single list. And this is the girl who didn't eat nothing unless it was a chicken nugget and some fries and ketchup. I didn't drink anything unless it was a Coke. My husband used to joke that I had a Coke problem because every time we went to town, I had to stop at a drive-thru and get a Coca-Cola. Because I was convinced that the fountain drinks were better for you. I don't even know about that theory, but needless to say, I had a problem and I drank a crap ton of Cokes. And I started drinking water because I didn't crave the Cokes. And the Shakeology totally like curbed my cravings, and I wanted water, and I wanted my Shakeology, and I wanted all these good things, and it was just a total shift. I started working on myself because I believed that I was masking things with food. And so as I worked on myself, I got stronger mentally. I started working through these little issues, these fears that I had, and these insecurities that I was just filled with. And it led me to being right here, right now at 58 pounds down. I feel absolutely amazing, and I'm smaller than I was on my wedding day. I'm actually pretty damn pissed that I did not take enough care in my body 10 years ago. Like, I wish I would have known about this 10 years ago. Do you know where I would be today? It would have saved me a whole lot of heartache. And I would be so much happier. But now I do know that I'm stronger than I thought. I am so much more than I thought I was. So I don't honestly regret it because, it's taught me a lot. But what started me on this was when I first ordered, I was like, look, I don't want to coach. I don't want to sell crap. I don't want to do that. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get Pio, and I'm going to cancel. And that's all I want. I'm not going to like the Shakeology. Yada, yada, yada. I had like a fistful of excuses. And so I get into all of my stuff, and within a month, I was feeling so amazing that it was like, how is this not common sense? How in God's name have I gotten so far without this? Like, how does everyone not know? I no longer had to spend 2 hours in the gym to lose a pound a month. I was losing so much weight so fast, and I was changing my entire life within an hour a day. And that would get me my meals cooked, that would get my workout in, and my shake made. And I was saving money because I wasn't making like 74 course meals. And it was just absolutely incredible. And that's why I'm here. Because I know how low I was, I know how bad I felt, and I know how badly I wanted a change. And I couldn't get there. I had no idea where to begin. Everything was so confusing and overwhelming to me, and I never thought that I could ever lose that weight. When I agreed, well, when I was drug into T25, at that point, I was at the very end of my rope. I was just accepting my fate. I'm going to be a fatty. I'm going to not have any energy. I'm going to feel like crap, and I'm going to be grumpy, and I'm going to be miserable. That's what you do, I guess. I was just assumed that, at that point, it was all genetic. I was not meant to be a skinny mini. I was not meant to feel great, so that's just the way it was. And I didn't realize how truly bad I felt until I started feeling good. You don't realize how bad your body feels until you feel good. And I want to scream from the rooftop how your life can go from one extreme to another, or it can just simply improve itself a little bit. I know a lot of people are a lot more conscious about what things that they're putting into their body than I was, so mine was a drastic extreme. Yours may not be as extreme, but I want you to know that this stuff works. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, pyramid crap. It's not, there's no magical anything. It's common sense things that we were not taught. Or maybe you were taught it and you kind of did your own thing because you were young and your metabolism was like fired on all cylinders and your hormones were awesome and that sort of thing. And maybe you've gotten older and maybe things aren't quite the same way that they were. We all have totally different circumstances, but I vowed my first month in that I would be someone who would reach a hand out and pull someone up with me and make them see how awesome things can be, how great you can feel, and how much life and joy and excitement there is to be had. And you can't experience that feeling like crap. You just can't. And if you have ever seen my post, if you have ever seen a video that I've done and you're thinking, what is that? There's no fine print that says you can't get these results. There's no pill. There's no magic. It is legit stuff that sets you up for a lifetime. The little bit of money that it takes to invest in this and in yourself is so much more than you can ever imagine. And if you've ever thought about it, if you've ever had any questions, if you've ever wondered what it is that I'm doing, reach out. I'm here to help you. I want you to feel good, and I want you to live the life that you always wanted to live. I don't want you to struggle. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself. I want you to rise up and be that amazing, strong, beautiful woman that you are. And if you're a dude and you are struggling, I'm here for you too. This is not just for women. This is not just for men. This is for everybody who wants to feel better. And I am so well equipped to help you get there. I will work as hard for you as you work for yourself. So I hope that you see now my true intentions behind doing what I'm doing. It's because I truly, legitimately care. I don't want anyone to feel the way that I felt. I don't want anyone to struggle the way that I struggled. And I want people to feel the way that I feel now. And I want people to feel accomplished and powerful. And yeah. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.